Good day everyone. Welcome to Pusat Bahasa Titian Jaya. Today I'm here, Mr. Durace. We are going to look at some of the phonetics aspect in the English language. You might wonder what is phonetics or phonology as it's often called. Phonetic is the study of the single unit of sound in the English language. Okay, so for today we are going to look at three basic sounds, and the first one would be ow. So if you look at the board, this is the phonetic symbol that we use to represent the sound ow. If you look closely, how do we make the sound? We have to widen our mouth ah, and then we have to pucker our mouth into a kissing pose ooh. So you say that together, ow. So let's look at it in a word. For example, the word owl. If you look closely, the symbols doesn't correlate with the letters of English. So that is why we need to study phonetics so that we can master the sounds of the words. So if you look at the phonetic transcription, owl is written as like this. So we pronounce this as ow followed by owl. Okay, so moving on. Next, let's look at the sound So this is a special sound in English language. It is also called as the schwa, because this is an interesting feature of the English language. So how do we pronounce this? Now let's look at the sound of So how do we pronounce this sound? We pronounce the sound with a starting sound with and then a prolonged sound. So let's look at the word here, about. Okay, how do we write it in a transcription? Okay, so this is the transcription for the word about. Okay, so we start with the letter with the sound and then b, ow, the sound that we just looked just now, and then t. Okay, about. You might notice that some of the phonetic symbol, they look just like the alphabet that we use in English, but actually these are not the same. They are the representation of the sound in English. So basically this is used for the sound of the letter B, and here the letter T, T. So together they make the sound b, out, bout, and then about. Okay. Okay, now let's move on to the last sound. The last phonetic symbol that we're going to look at is ch, as in cheap. Okay, the ch sound is used to represent the sound of the letter C and H together, ch. Okay, so let's look at this word. Okay, so cheap. How do we write it in the transcription? We have the ch sound followed by e and p. So this is the sound we use to write for the letter P, but here this is pronounced as p, and here we have e. Together they make the sound ip, and when you put the ch together it makes the sound cheap. So usually when we pronounce the transcriptions, we follow from the back to the front. This is so that it makes us easier to pronounce the word together. So we have p and then e together, ip. When you put the last sound here, it becomes ch, cheap. Okay, I hope that clears a little about the phonetics and phonology. So today we looked at three different sounds. We started with ow, and we had Lastly, we looked at Hopefully this would give you a better insight into the English language. So if you have any more questions, or if you find this interesting, you could always call us to our office, or you can contact us through our Facebook page, and you can ask us a lot more that you want to know. Okay, thank you.